and thank you so much for tuning in tonight to the Exceptional Conservative Show, live from the nation's capital. I'm your host, Ken McClenton. I'm president of TECN TV, and I'm fed up. I normally don't record myself during the show, as I believe the live one, if you catch me live, you got me. But I am incensed this particular evening. I'm incensed because we have someone who has a product out there which I willfully use, and I can willfully not use as well. But unfortunately, many of the individuals which I contact, that is their only sense of source of social media. I'm referring to Facebook. Oh, hi Zuckerberg. And how Zuckerberg, in his supreme ruling court, decided to censor an editorial from my pages of Voice of Liberty on TheExceptionalConservativeshow.com. You can easily go to TheExceptionalConservativeshow.com. We are the best in urban conservative news, talk, and movies. And you can find us also if you DuckDuckGo us on TECN TV. So, one of my writers happens to be a Pulitzer Prize nominee and also chairman of Black Americans for a Better Future. His name is Raynard, we call him Teddy Bear Jackson. And he comes on my show every Tuesday at 10:20 p.m. Eastern Time, faithfully, and I appreciate that faithfulness to TECN TV. He understands our vision for providing a conservative urban viewpoint to the world, one which is often masked or, as done today, censored and kept away from the American public. Well, he wrote an article, and I'm going to read it to you, since it's been the publication of the way of getting to this has been censored by Zuckerberg and his supreme ruling court, which says that according to the 10 commandments of their community standards, somehow I have offended thee, and by my offense of thee, then ye can no longer read what thee has written, or at least provided for you through the written exploits of Raynard Teddy Bear Jackson. It is not the first time that they've done that for Raynard Teddy Bear Jackson through TECN TV. It seems to be a habitual practice of them censoring his language. So rather than to deal with the whole concept of trying to scuttle my time and portend my interest in appealing the supreme rulers of, I was getting ready to say the other one, but in this particular case, Facebook, Zuckerberg, I'm going to read to you his editorial that was censored by Facebook. And I will put it out on Facebook later on today. And it will be installed for the records of everyone at TECN TV and for the Exceptional Conservative Network on YouTube. And I will put it out on Twitter. And I will put it out on Gab. And I will also put it out on BitChute. So no matter where you try to separate the truth, Zuckerberg, from the American public, they'll have an opportunity to read it for themselves. Last month, this is the writing of Republican Governor Questions Black Staffer. Last month, forgive me, Republican Governor Questions Black Staffer by Raynard Teddy Bear Jackson. Last month, I wrote a column titled, "Weak Black Republicans Are Hurting Real Black Republicans." I had absolutely no idea that it would be as explosive as it was. Click on the hyperlink above and it will take you directly to my column. The column basically questions why Black Americans always feel the need to reach out to radical Black liberal Democrats at the expense of their fellow Black Republicans. Can you see why they got to get rid of this thing? No one in the Republican Party seems to be able to give me an intelligent reason or explanation for such illogical behavior. So, this leads me to this week's column. Last week, a Midwestern governor friend of mine called me to discuss my column from last month. I have been helping him with his communication efforts targeting the black community in his state. He was under the misguided impression that meeting with radical liberal black Democrats was a good thing, even though he admitted that he didn't see these groups voting for him in the future, nor supporting any of his major policies that he is trying to enact. His senior black staffer was given responsibility for the governor's engagement with the black community. The governor had his staffer call me to discuss his strategy and find a way to make sure that this engagement with the black community was going to ultimately lead to getting more votes for the governor from the black community. Let's just say the call didn't go too well. This staffer was a millennial, and like most millennials, was extremely arrogant and thought civilization began when he came out of the womb. Welcome to the world, Adam. He indicated to me that he felt no obligation to explain to me why he had spent more time meeting with radical black liberal Democrats in his state than black Republicans in his state, including blacks who endorsed and campaigned for the governor. Raynard Teddy Bear Jackson goes on to say, so I politely listened to him continue to disrespect me in my years of experience in the political arena. I ended the call by saying to him that if he ever saw any value in my words, in my years of experience, to feel free to reach out to me, because helping the governor was my objective. I called the governor and briefed him on the call, and to my utter amazement, the governor hit the ceiling. I had never heard him speak and scream the way he did. The governor began to profusely apologize for the way I was treated and assured me that he would correct the situation immediately. I told him that was unnecessary, but the governor said no friend of his would be disrespected by a staffer as long as he was governor. 30 minutes later, I received a call from the staffer with a long, meandering apology. I just remained silent so I can enjoy his groveling. I have been in this game a long time, and this is not the first time, and probably won't be the last time, that I have to endure such an encounter with a young, arrogant black staffer. If I were white, now I want to get your attention here. Just pay attention here. Out of all the stuff that was written, by Raynard Teddy Bear Jackson, it's at this point now, for this one line right here, that the Heil Zuckerberg in the Supreme Ruling Court of Community Standards for Facebook, this next one line right here is the reason they dumped everything. Here it is. This is so offensive to the Facebook community that if you are a millennial, put your eyes over your hand, your eyes over your ears, and your eyes over your mouth. Do it right now, because you're about to be offended. Raynard Teddy Bear Jackson says, if I were white, I would have never been treated this way by a black staffer. But that's a column for another time. Are you trembling? The governor told me that he thought his staffer was trying to do the right thing because as an elected official, he his staff could be seen as using politics as a basis for who they meet with, that they had to be nonpartisan. My response to the governor was that he was bound by law to be nonpartisan, not bipartisan. Big difference. Ching! The governor said he had never heard anyone put it quite that way, and that I was absolutely correct, and that his approach to engaging with the black community going forward would be based on the principle of nonpartisanship and not bipartisanship. Hallelujah! With the backdrop, I will make my final point. He's about to drop the mic here. Get ready, y'all, because some of y'all are going to scream. Last week, I received a press release from a radical black liberal Democrat friend stating national black civil rights leaders participate in call with Democratic presidential nominee and former Vice President Joe Biden. Some of the participants were Al Greasy Fingers Sharpton. I digress. He did not say Greasy Fingers. I'm just saying. Al Sharpton, president of the National Action Network. Melanie Campbell, convener of the Black Women's Roundtable Public Policy Network. Derek Johnson, president and CEO of NAACP. And Mark Morial, president and CEO of the National Urban League. I forwarded a copy to the White House with a note that said, "Notice how many black Republicans were invited to join this call." There was not one black Republican on the call because they would never even think about having the opposition party participate in a call like this. Why do black Republicans not hold these radical liberals to the same bipartisan standard? After all, each of the above groups are tax exempt. Thus, they must be nonpartisan. Do these black Republican staffers not realize that they are in the essence training their replacements if their elected official is voted out of office? I challenge my readers to show me one instance where Sharpton, Campbell, Johnson, or Morial ever hired a black Republican or given them a consultant contract. But Republicans hire black liberals all the time. There is absolutely nothing Trump could do to get those above listed groups and individuals to vote or support his administration. So then, why are we still reaching out to them? We must be nonpartisan, not bipartisan. If only Republicans could grow a pair. That was my line at the end of the writings of Raynard Teddy Bear Jackson, which you can find at Voices of Liberty on the TheExceptionalConservativeshow.com page. Thank you so much for bearing with me, as I more than likely have made many of you all tremble over the fact that if he was a white consultant, no black staffer would ever demean him. And if any of you all want to say amen, we'll be back with more of the best in urban conservative talk. Yes, I've gone over this particular period. People ask me all the time, Ken, why do you stop when you're on such a virile roll? Well, I stop because I want you to remember two things. One, ladies and gentlemen, is that your children need to know where you are. Two, you should know where your children are.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?